I didn't expose my friend's fake accusations, and he ended up taking his life. When I was around 14 or 15, I had just made a Twitch account. I'm currently 18, I had started frequenting Twitch so I could make friends around the time COVID happened. I had been playing Fortnite with random people and became friends with a person called Rogue. Sometimes I used to watch his Twitch streams, and in his chat there was a guy named Dylan who was also a regular teammate of ours. I had become friends with Dylan, who also used to stream Fortnite. We used to frequently play together, and I even started moderating for him. He had maybe 70 to 100 followers at that time. Around middle of August 2020, I had introduced him to Minecraft, and he joined an SMP, which I had joined a few months earlier. I didn't necessarily know any of them IRL, but we followed each other on Instagram. He quickly started frequenting that SMP, and we became decent acquaintances with the owner of the SMP and her friend. When I had started moderating for Dylan, he had told me apparently that he was using a voice changer since he didn't want people to find out he was old. He didn't ever try to hide his age, Beatsav. Nobody had bothered asking and just assumed he was around our age and stuff and just wanted to play with people, which was reasonable, as people are very different online. One day during a VC session, his voice changer had turned off, and the owner of this MP Barb and her friend heard it and made fun of him. But they didn't do much after that. One day when we were playing Minecraft, Dylan was banned, and his MC Bedrock account had been reported for inappropriate behavior. And it turned out, he had been banned from the Discord. Apparently the two girls, Barb, owner and friend, had spread slander about him that he had been sending dick pics to them, who are minors, which was a blatant lie. A lot of people then reported him in his Twitch and got it banned. He was extremely heartbroken, as he lost all his efforts on Twitch. As long as I had known him, he was constantly using all of his money to grow his equipment and his Twitch, and spent almost every hour on his account. After he lost the account, he was super devastated. He rarely talked on his Discord, and he told me he was going to leave for a while. And we didn't have much contact after that. A few months later, during 2021, the Fortnite friend of ours, Rogue, messaged me. He had informed me that Dylan had unfortunately taken his life. I found out that day that Dylan and Rogue were brothers, which was new to me. I had known Rogue and Dylan knew each other IRL, as Dylan talked a lot about hanging out with Rogue. Dylan played Fortnite because he didn't want Rogue to play alone and started streaming to kill time. He had told me Dylan had ended his life due to being basically banned on social media and being harassed by the Minecraft SMP server owner's brother, and losing all his hard work on Twitch. I at that time had known the two girls' identities, and the brother had asked me if I did, but I said no. This was due to the reason that I had a huge crush on the owner and was close to the owner, Barb. We even online dated for a few months, not thinking straight. The reason I had broken up with the owner was also related to Dylan's death. She had told me later that she and Sam, her friend, had just done it as a joke because they thought he was a sad loser. I deeply regret not telling the brother. Rogue has also deactivated his socials. Edit. Also, for some more information, Rogue and Dylan are not the same person. Geez, I knew Rogue before Dylan, and I have seen pictures of Rogue on his Instagram. We also played frequently as a trio, so it was impossible for him to be Rogue and Dylan. Number 2. I have a daughter I've never met or even acknowledged. When I was in college, I had a friends with benefits who ended up getting pregnant. We'd known each other since high school, and I truly did care for her a great deal. She had been dating another guy, but we secretly kept seeing each other too. When she told me she was pregnant, she said she knew for a fact it was his baby, not mine. I didn't understand how she knew that with certainty because we hadn't been using protection, which I know was a very irresponsible decision. And we'd been seeing each other regularly, at least once a week. Word spas around campus, and from what I heard, he completely denied that it was his child and claimed that they'd only done it once and he'd pulled out. She left at the winter break and didn't come back. Before she left, I asked her if what he'd said was true, and she didn't really answer. I told her point blank that it was obviously much more likely to be mine unless she'd been with someone else, which she swore she hadn't. We talked, and I told her that we all knew he was never going to acknowledge the baby, much less step up as a father, but that I'd do whatever I could to take care of her and the baby, even if she insisted it wasn't my child. Her response was something along the lines of, "I know you would. That's why it has to be his." I know that she was just letting me off the hook by saying it was his because she knew he would bail. She never asked for a paternity test from him or sued for child support. She came from a good, solid middle-class family and had plenty of support. I would have liked to have continued seeing her, but she moved back to her home state. She later got married, And from all I've heard, he's been a great dad to her daughter, and they have a couple of other kids together as well. I know that she and the baby have had a really good life and have never wanted for anything. I know they've had a much better life than I could have provided. But it kills me knowing that I probably have a daughter I've never known. I hope she's never felt abandoned or unwanted. I still think I did the right thing by not arguing any further, but it's really hard to know for sure.